This is the matchup: LG's flagship versus Samsung's flagship. OLED versus QD-OLED. Two very different philosophies fighting for the same spot in your living room. Both of these are exceptional televisions. You won't be disappointed with either one. But they're not the same TV, and depending on what you care about, one of them is definitely better for you. Let me break it down. Just make sure to use our links to land the latest discounts. Here goes. The panel technology divide. LG uses OLED. Samsung uses QD-OLED. This matters more than most people realize. The G6 runs LG's second-generation Primary RGB Tandem panel. 4 layers of OLED emitters stacked together. Red, green, and 2 blue. LG calls it hyper-radiant color technology. The result is a TV that can push past 3000 nits peak brightness while maintaining the deep blacks OLEDs are famous for. The S95H uses Samsung's 5th-generation QD-OLED. Quantum dots handle color conversion, which gives Samsung an edge in color volume. Reds are redder, greens pop harder. The overall saturation is more intense without looking unnatural. Samsung claims 2700 nits peak brightness this year, up 35% from the S95F. So LG wins on raw brightness, Samsung wins on color saturation. In practice, both TVs are so far beyond what content is actually mastered for that you'll rarely notice the brightness difference. The color thing is more visible. QD-OLED has this vibrancy that OLED doesn't quite match. Some people love it, some find it a bit much. Viewing angles favor Samsung slightly. Not a deal breaker unless your couch is really wide or you've got seating scattered around the room. Bright room performance. Both companies went hard on anti-reflection tech this year. Different approaches though. LG's G6 has something called reflection-free premium. New coating, new polarizer structure. LG claims reflections are cut to under 0.5% on the 55 through 83-inch models. The 48 and 97 don't get this treatment. In a bright room, the G6 maintains deep blacks even with windows behind you. That's the claim anyway. Samsung improved its OLED glare-free coating on the S95H. It's a matte finish that will diffuse reflections rather than absorb them. Samsung's been doing this for a few years now, and they've gotten good at minimizing the downsides. Different philosophies. LG is trying to eliminate reflections while keeping the image sharp. Samsung is diffusing reflections and accepting a tiny bit of softness in exchange for that matte aesthetic that looks incredible when displaying art. If you're in a room with harsh overhead lighting or big windows, both will handle it better than last year's models. The G6 probably edges out the S95H for pure image clarity in bright conditions. The S95H looks better as a decorative piece when the TV is off or showing artwork. The design showdown. Samsung made a statement with the S95H. This thing looks like a picture frame. Metal bezel around the entire display. Designed specifically for wall mounting. When you hang it flush, it genuinely resembles artwork on your wall. The bezel is detachable and magnetic. Comes in gunmetal gray, but Samsung will sell other styles. You can customize the look to match your room. LG's G6 takes a different approach. Minimal bezels. The panel itself is the focus. Gallery mount included in the box, so it sits flush against the wall. Less decorative, more about disappearing into the background and letting the picture speak. The S95H wants to be noticed even when it's off. The G6 wants to vanish until you turn it on. On a TV stand, the S95H looks awkward. 2 blade feet, frames sticking out, the whole aesthetic falls apart. This TV is meant for walls. The G6 works fine either way. If you're buying a TV that doubles as room decor, the S95H is the obvious choice. If you just want the best picture and don't care about aesthetics when the screen is dark, the G6 makes more sense. The wireless situation. Here's something the S95H offers that the G6 doesn't. Optional wireless video. Samsung sells a wireless One Connect box separately. Plug your Blu-ray player, game consoles, streaming boxes into it. The box sits in your cabinet. Video transmits wirelessly to the TV. Only a thin power cable runs to the screen. Sounds great for clean installations, but there's a catch. Wireless adds input lag. Measurements on Samsung's previous wireless TVs showed around 24 milliseconds at 1080p 120 and 37 milliseconds at 4K 60. That's roughly 3 frames of delay. Fine for movies, brutal for competitive gaming. The S95H solves this by keeping HDMI ports directly on the TV as well. Use wireless for your streaming box and Blu-ray player where lag doesn't matter. Use wired HDMI for your PlayStation or Xbox. Best of both worlds. If you go all in with the wireless box plus the onboard ports, you get 8 HDMI inputs total. That's absurd. Nobody needs 8 HDMI inputs. The G6 has standard HDMI ports, 4 of them, no wireless option. Simpler setup, no latency concerns, fewer cables to manage if you wall mount creatively. Gaming features. Both are excellent gaming TVs. Specs are nearly identical. 4K at 165Hz, VRR support, sub-millisecond response times. Both support G-Sync and FreeSync. Both have ALLM for automatic game mode switching. The G6 adds Bluetooth ultra-low latency this year. 1 millisecond response for wireless controllers. Was supposed to come to last year's models but got delayed. If you game wirelessly, that's a meaningful addition. The G6 also gets 4K 120Hz cloud gaming through GeForce Now before anyone else. Built right into WebOS. No external hardware needed. Samsung's gaming features are proven. The S95H handles variable refresh rate beautifully. Motion clarity is excellent. Samsung has been in the gaming TV space for years and that experience shows. Honestly, for gaming, you can't go wrong with either. HDR format support. This is where Samsung loses points every single year. The G6 supports Dolby Vision. Standard Dolby Vision, not the new Dolby Vision 2, but still. Most streaming services use Dolby Vision for their premium content. Netflix, Disney+, Apple TV+. When you watch something mastered in Dolby Vision, the G6 plays it in Dolby Vision. The S95H does not support Dolby Vision. Samsung refuses to license it. Has for years. Instead, you get HDR10+ Adaptive, which is Samsung's competing format. Problem is, way less content is mastered in HDR10+ than Dolby Vision. You're missing out on the premium HDR experience for a lot of content. Neither TV supports DTS audio natively. Both will convert DTS to PCM. If you've got a Blu-ray collection with DTS soundtracks, you'll want an external sound system that handles the decode. Neither supports HDMI 2.2 or Dolby Vision 2, but for HDR format support, LG wins clearly. Dolby Vision matters. Samsung's stubbornness on this is a bit frustrating. Processing and smart features. LG put a new chip in the G6, Alpha 11 Gen 3. Faster CPU, faster GPU, significantly faster NPU. Better upscaling for non-4K content. Smoother motion processing. The works. Samsung kept the same NQ4 AI Gen 3 processor from last year's S95F. Not a problem necessarily. That chip was already excellent, but there's no generational improvement on the processing side. Both have extensive AI features. LG has Google Gemini and Microsoft Copilot built into WebOS 26. Samsung has its Vision AI suite with content recognition, AI upscaling, and accessibility features. Both can generate AI artwork if that's something you care about. Smart home integration is strong on both. Matter support, Thread, AirPlay, Google Cast, the usual stuff. WebOS 26 supposedly runs faster and smoother than previous versions. Samsung's Tizen is mature and polished. Neither smart TV platform is going to frustrate you at this point. Size options. G6 comes in 48, 55, 65, 77, 83, and 97 inches. Full range from small to massive. S95H comes in 48, 55, 65, and 77 inches. No 83-inch option, no 97-inch monster. If you want something bigger than 77 inches, the G6 is your only choice between these two. Worth to mention that the 48-inch S95H might not be a QD-OLED panel. Samsung hasn't confirmed, but there's speculation it could be standard OLED. With the S95H design language, something to watch for when full specs release. Who should buy the LG G6? Get the LG if you prioritize raw brightness. The G6 pushes past 3000 nits. That's the brightest consumer OLED you can buy right now. HDR highlights hit harder. Daytime scenes have more punch. You want Dolby Vision? Most premium streaming content uses it. The G6 plays it natively. The S95H doesn't play it at all. You need a size larger than 77 inches. Samsung doesn't go there with the S95H. LG offers 83 and 97-inch options. You want the latest processing. The Alpha 11 Gen 3 is a genuine upgrade. Better upscaling plus motion handling. You don't care about the TV as decor. The G6 is meant to disappear when off. Clean, minimal, all about the picture. Who should buy the Samsung S95H? Treat yourself to the Samsung model if color is vital to you. QD-OLED delivers more vibrant, saturated colors than WOLED. Reds and greens especially pop in a way that LG can't quite match. You want the TV to double as artwork. The picture frame design, matte screen, and art mode integration make the S95H a legitimate decorative piece. When it's not showing content, it's showing art. And it looks convincing. You need wireless flexibility. Optional Wireless One Connect means clean installations with minimal visible cables. Wired gaming still works. It's the best of both worlds. You want maximum HDMI inputs. 8 total if you buy the wireless box. Overkill for most people. Essential for a few. You prefer Samsung's ecosystem. If you've got Samsung phones, tablets, soundbars, and smart home gear, the S95H integrates seamlessly. Final take. These are the two best OLEDs this year. To pick between them comes down to priorities. The G6 is the better pure picture quality play. Brighter, Dolby Vision support, new processor. LG's anti-reflection tech maintains image sharpness. If you're building a dedicated home theater and want the best possible image, the G6 is the answer. The S95H is the better lifestyle play. Stunning design, frame aesthetic, wireless flexibility, that QD-OLED color saturation. If your TV needs to look good in your living room even when it's off, if you care about interior design as much as picture quality, the S95H makes a strong case. The Dolby Vision thing matters to me. Most of what I watch streams from services that use Dolby Vision. Samsung skipping it again is annoying. If that doesn't bother you, fine, but it should probably bother you a little. Both TVs are overkill for most content. Both will make your movies look incredible. Both handle games beautifully. You really can't lose here. But if I had to pick one, I'd take the G6. Brighter panel, Dolby Vision, larger size options, latest processor. The S95H is gorgeous, but the G6 is the more complete television in my book. Your call though. They're both rock solid. Just make sure to use our secure links for the latest discounts and keep it valid.